Okay, hello again and welcome to part 5 of the Muzzle Flash in Blender. And in this part we will be adding the Muzzle Flash, which makes sense. So, well, we don't need to be in a compositor, so let's go to Default. And, oh, go away email. We're going to go to Layer 2, because this layer is for the environment lighting. So we're going to go to Layer 2. And I'm going to add a new render layer. I'm going to call it Muzzle Flash, and that's only going to be layer 1. Okay, so getting the Muzzle Flash in. Now, I do know Andrew Price made a tutorial on creating a Muzzle Flash in Blender, which involves, getting a cylinder, and then adding a displace modifier, and it looked really good, I must admit, and I did do it, and it does look good. And if you want to be a pure Blender Muzzle Flash, you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Except, just to speed things up, I'm just going to use an image, and that's how I'm going to show you. So, we're going to import an image, a plane, and we're just going to animate the alpha on that. That's all it is, basically. So, how do we do that? Well, first, we need to import an image as plane. Images as planes. As a plane, which is a nice little add-on, which we have to enable again. So go to user preferences, and we're going to go to add-on tab. We're going to go in plane, just type in plane, and there you go, import images as planes. And we're just going to check that. And then one thing I'm just going to quickly point out, for some reason, if you don't save the user settings as default, every time you reopen the file you'll have to re-enable all the add-ons, including the Roto Bezier and everything. That's just one annoyance. But anyway, go to import file, import images as planes, and we're going to add the gun shooting footage. And you don't have to worry about any of this. Actually, don't worry about any of that, and just import as plane. And next we're going to go to texture, and what this will do is allow us to have a real-time oops, oh crap, I just imported the wrong thing. Oops, sorry. Delete that, start again. File, import, images as plane. So we want the Muzzle Flash JPEG. So import that as images plane, and there we go, we have our Muzzle Flash. Go to the materials tab, and some things we need to get rid of, to change, is we want the diffuse to be maximum, so put that on 1. We don't want any specularity, and we want it to be shadeless. Oops, shadeless. There we go, and there we have it. We can see our Muzzle Flash now. Problem is, we need to get rid of the black. So to do that, we're going to turn transparency on, and we're just going to delete the alpha. Oh no! It's gone. Don't worry. We're going to add an alpha texture. Now we could take this into the Photoshop. We could take it into Photoshop or GIMP and desaturate it, but we don't need to. We can do it straight into Blender. So one little thing I like clipping it. Just one little thing I like to do. All we're going to do is we're going to add a new texture. Call it alpha. And we're just going to load the Muzzle Flash JPEG again. And basically, turn alpha use off. And basically, all we're going to do under colors is turn the saturation to 0. And I'll make it black and white. And black is what goes, and white is what stays. But as you can see, it's not perfectly black with the black here. So one way I found a way around that, just turn the contrast up, and there you go, perfect alpha map for our Muzzle Flash. And in the influence, instead of putting it on color, turn it to alpha, and there we go. We have one Muzzle Flash ready to be placed. So for the Muzzle Flash, we can. The nice thing about this, the images as planes, we can grab it, move it around. Bit like After Effects, really, isn't it? yeah, we can grab it, scale it, rotate it. No, we don't want to do that. We can rotate it on the Y. I don't know why you would want to do that, but yeah, we can do all this fancy stuff, which is quite nice. So now we've got our muzzle flash. We need to again animate the alpha because it's only going to appear again when the gun is shot. Now, what we could do is we're not going to do that. We're just going to basically work out the frames we used for the alpha of this. So I think because the muzzle flash is only one frame, so we're not going to sort of have it fade out. We're just going to have it for one frame and then on off. So again, on frame 2, it's the first frame. Oh god, oops, not -1. I'm going to put that to 0. We're going to insert a keyframe. And on frame 3, put that to 1. Right click, insert keyframe. And on frame 4, make that 0. And then we're going to have to do that again for every time the gun is shot. Now, so we can see our muzzle, we need to, we should actually place the muzzle flash. So we're just going to hit location on frame 3 and sort of place it roughly there. And also another rule, the muzzle flash is generally a lot bigger than the gun itself. This is not a good muzzle flash. So I'll say about that big, and we'll just reanimate that. So yeah, that's the first frame where the muzzle flash is going to be, and because we don't have to keyframe it for every frame, we just have to make sure that when the gun is on the gunshot frame, that it's in the right position. So for this shot, it's about there, and it will move, but because of the alpha, we won't see it move. Actually, we'll move that a bit more, and then on the next shot, which is about there, keyframe that again, and then that last shot is about there. So the muzzle flash just moves in the correct position when the gun shoots. Now we can animate the alpha. So frame 28, insert another keyframe, and then on frame 29, make it 0. It's all very boring. And then finally, don't add a shortcut. There we go. So again, similar to what we did with the Bezier circles and the rotoscope, we animated the alpha, but instead this is just one frame long. So it goes 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. There. So with that done, we can now composite the muzzle flash in. So we'll save that, and we will go to our compositor, and we're now going to add input render layer, and we're going to add the muzzle flash. And again, we make sure we're on frame 3, because we know that's one of the gunshots. And we're just going to re-render everything, because we need to render the muzzle flash. And why has it suddenly gone to frame 83? I don't know. Render that again. And there we see our muzzle flash has been rendered. So now we need to add the muzzle flash into what we already have. The way we do that is again with another alpha over. So all you have to do is plug the muzzle flash into the top, then the background and the lighting effect into the bottom, and plug that into the compositor. And that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Maybe I did it the wrong way around. There we go. That always gets me. I have no idea which way it goes. And there we have it. Our muzzle flash is now in with our footage. We can see that. Now, this is almost the end of part 5, but what we can do is we can throw in an RGB curve here, and we can, pull the contrast a bit, or we can add an S curve, I don't know. You can just experiment with the lighting and just change the colors, whatever you want to do. Maybe don't do that. Yeah, just experiment, and we just check that on the next frame it should disappear. Yeah, and then the lighting fades as we want it. So yeah, that's part 5. So we added the muzzle flash, composited it in. Yeah, that's about it for this part. So for the next part, I will. What shall I do? I'll move on to the smoke, which we're going to add here. And yeah, that's it for this part. And so tune in for next part. We'll be looking to add the smoke into the render. So for now, goodbye.